Hi everyone, it's Kathy Maxson. We're going to do another Christmas in July, but we're going to be using this pumpkin. It's a door hanger you get from the Dollar Tree, so they should be coming out soon if they're not in your stores already. This is from my stash, so just look for the pumpkin with the hat. It comes with the plastic back. We're going to take all this off. We're going to be using some loopy yarn. We're going to be using this red yarn bee. I got my yarn from Hobby Lobby. It was just on sale. We're going to be using some knee highs. We got some polyfill. And then items and we're going to put something on the hat. So what we are going to be making is a gnome. So we're going to use the loopy yarn for the beard, and we're going to use the red. I've done all different kinds of colors of yarn, and also of the loopy yarn. I've done gray. I've done, I think it was like burgundy and gray, and so we're going to do a red hat with a white beard. And we're going to figure out probably this one, because this one might be way too big. So we'll probably use the little, this was a Dollar Tree ornament. So when Christmas comes around, make sure you pick up some ornaments. So, and the knee high is going to be for the gnome nose, along with the fiber fill. So basically all we're going to do is we're going to take all this stuff off. Wrap stuff that they have wrapped around. So I just usually just cut an end. We're going to unwrap it. And then you see it's just wrapped around. These are like little pegs. So we're going to take this hanger off because we are going to reuse it. But I'm not going to put it there. I'm going to put it more behind. I'm going to put it more down here. So then when it's hanging, you don't see it above the hat. So basically, we're just going to take all this stuff off. You can save it if you want. I don't usually save mine. I have in the past, I've braided some Easter colors because I think I had like a rabbit or an Easter egg. That I had unwrapped, and I just wanted to see what it looked like wrapped. But yeah, so basically we're just going to take all this off. You can cut it. Tools we're going to need, I should have mentioned, we're going to need some scissors, and we're going to need some cutters, because I'm going to cut the majority of these nubs off. You can leave them on. It depends. Sometimes you can see the nubs. I will leave some of the nubs on, and I will explain to you which ones we're going to leave on. And try to get your table out clear, because otherwise you're going to get all those little things all over your white and red yarn. So the nubbies we are going to keep. I'm going to keep the 3 in the triangle on the hat, and I'm going to keep the 3 that are here on the edge of the hat. That's going to help keep my yarn. Other than that, I'm going to cut all these out. I usually do this over a trash can. But for purposes, I already have, here's one with all the nubs still on it, and here's one that these are the nubs that I am keeping. So we're going to need zip ties. Get your zip ties ready. So we're going to start the hat. We're going to start at the top and then work our way down to this section here. And then the hat, this brim, I'm going to wrap this way instead of horizontally. Find the center of our yarn, pull out the center, see if I can pull out, voila, I found the end. Pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zip tie this tail here at the end. And then I'm just going to wrap. So you see how that that nub here on the end is going to hold it, and then the one then below it's going to hold that there. So I'm going to wrap like that, and I'm just going to continue wrapping around. Slide it up. See how you could see, I don't know if you can see that, but you could see the nub a little bit. So like I said, that's kind of why I cut the nubs off. You can glue them down if you want. You can zip tie some more if you want. Put the yarn on that side maybe. So basically, we're just wrapping around the hat. You could, if you left the nubs on, you could just go around the nubs and not go all the way around. You'd use less yarn that way, but so it gets bulky on this end, but it's not bulky on that end. So I'm trying to squish it up just to help it not be so bulky. And probably one more there. So that's what we're going to do at the top of the hat. And then what I'm going to do, since obviously I want to wrap it this way, and I can't fit my yarn through, I'm going to pull out about a yard worth of yarn, and I'm cutting it, because then now I can feed it through. So I'm going to put a zip tie back here just to hold it in place. The yarn is so fluffy, you're not going to be able to see it. And then I'm going to put a zip tie, so I'm going to put it behind this nub, and I'm going to put a zip tie underneath here. Because then this way that'll help keep the yarn on the end. And then I'm just going to wrap. You can always get your hot glue gun. So you see, I'm just going to wrap. So that's going to stay because I had it zip tied. So then now we're just going to pull it through, and I'd loop it a couple times, and we're going to pull it through. And then we're going to pull it. We're going to separate this brim of this hat. We're going to push the yarn up that went around his hat so I can feed it through the brim here. So we're just going to keep feeding it through. You're not going to be able to tell. I mean, you'll be able to tell, but you won't be able to I think the last one I made, I think I went the other way through the brim. I think I went front to back. So you do have these crossbars here. You know, just fill up as far as you can, and then you'll move over. You'll be able to tell when you're full. But I'm basically pushing the stuff up from the hat and feeding it through the top of that brim. Here on this sample. So I'm feeding it and I'm wrapping it around these two here. So your hat goes to here, but I'm trying to feed up through the top. I think I left myself short. Didn't cut enough. Yeah, I'm not gonna have enough to wrap. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna zip tie it off back here, but I'm gonna tie my new one in. So I'm gonna zip tie it to this bar and just tie my new piece in. And then we could cut that off later. I don't want to take it out. I think there's still a bar here on the edge of the hat. I'm still gonna get this piece out of there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to come and zip tie it like I did on the other one. We're going to zip tie it over here near the corner. Oops. And then that way I can come back and come this way. Get my hat lined up. I'm gonna go underneath here because it looks like I'm a little shy right in here. Pretty good. So we're going to just zip tie it off. I should try to get under the frame, but not that you could see it on the other side. Cut that off. There we have the hat all wrapped. You can, push it down, some spots that look lower, you can pull them up, but that is our basic hat. Now we're going to work on filling in the beard. So when I make them, I'm trying to remember how long I made them. Get my trusty. So if we start, probably hook them here, we'll hook them here, and then we can go up in between here. How long is that? I want to say, I thought I cut them around 12 inches. So we're going to cut them around 12 inches, cut in between the loops. So So then you'll have a loop on each side, and then you'll have the cut in the middle. And then when we hang it, we're gonna fold it in half, and then we'll zip tie. So cut you some of these, 12 inches. I don't know how many skeins we'll use. So what we're going to do is kind of fold it in half. And you're going to see, you know, your 12 inches up here may make it really full here, so you may make these a little shorter. You know, the ones on the side, you may really kind of be clipping them more to the side, because I want to say it doesn't hide the side very well when you start zip tying them. But that's what we're going to do. That will be our beard. What you can do is just pull your zip ties to the back. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm going to just zip tie one bundle to each of the crossbars, or each of the sections. And then sometimes if you cut too close, it will pull a loop out. So just try to get as close to in between as you can. So we're just folding in a half, poking it to each section. Flip these ones over. So that's what it looks like so far. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put two sections together. So we're going to do a double one, and then we're going to do a double one in between each of those. Two together, find the center. Back. So you see how full he's starting to look. Other pieces to the front. Another section there. Put the two together, find the center. Zip ties to the back. So you can see my so pop all your to the front, kind of pull them up, pull them forward. That's what we have so far. All my little pieces from my when I took that tinsel stuff off. That's what he looks like. So let's continue on. We'll do the same thing. I'll put one at each section and then we'll put doubles in the middle. Okay, so you can pull all your loops to the front. See how full you're getting. So like I said, we're going to cut 2 in between, 2, 4, 6. So oh, it looks like one of my, looks like there's dirt on this yarn in a spot. It stinks. Okay, so double them up. And we're going to put them in between these sections here. Pull all your loops forward, and fluff it out. Sometimes they'll get stuck in the back. I don't like that one on the edge. It's looking nice and fluffy. And so then like the last section, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up in between the hat and we're going to put more. So I will have to open up another, let's see. Oops. Was that 12 and a half? Just wanna see, piece is too little. Cut. Let's take one, fold it in half. So I'm going to get this one up in here. I'm going to put it on the outside of the hat. So what I'm going to try to do is get it up in this section here, not under here, because I want this one to then cover the edge. Hat, I only got it through the yarn. Okay, so let's get this one up in here. You should be doing this through the back. I should be, okay, yeah, I'll be able to turn it around. So then this one, when it hangs, it's going to kind of hang off to the side, so it's going to cover your edge. So we're going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to go at each crossbar first, and then we'll double up the centers. So just fill around in between, get it in between the yarn and the hat. Find my center. And then, you know, you're just gonna, it'll look like it's coming out from under his hat. Okay, there's these. Let's cut these. Your yarn sheds a little bit from where you cut. That's what we have so far. Nice, big, and fluffy. And then what we're going to do is kind of like what we did before. I'm going to put 2 in each center. If you find that your gnome isn't fluffy enough, your beard, you know, you can add more. You could put, you know, 2 in every section if you wanted, every piece that you did, or every section that we did. I just put one individual one at the crossbars, and then I filled up with the 2 then in between sections. So if you did it like I did, you will need at least two of the 3.5 ounce loopy yarn. You will at least need 2 rolls of that. And then if you get one red, then like I picked up 4 rolls of the loopy yarn, just because first of all I wasn't sure how many I didn't remember how many I used in the past. I just picked up 4 to be safe. And we're going to put 2. And like I said, you could always go in and fill more in if you want more. I could have waited, to fill this in the middle when I, till after I put his nose on. We could have done that. My other end of my zip tie here. So my red's coming forward. It's just my bulky end of my hat. So just make sure, when you're doing your hat, you can see it looks kind of bulky here. You can pull it tight if you wanted to zip tie that down. So here's what he puffs up. You get really soft yarn. It's really nice. It's nice and soft. Let's go. Okay, we're ready for his nose. So put your knee highs. I use color nude. I'm going to, these are new hose. Got them at Walmart a couple years ago. I want to try to double it up here. So then you only use one. These are polyfill. So I'm just going to double them up. Somewhere along the line I must not have doubled them up because I have an odd number left. So get some stuffing in there. Figure out how big you want his nose. Because basically what we're going to do, we're just going to tie the ends just to the back. So that looks like a pretty good sized nose. So I'm just going to feed the pantyhose. Pull some of these up. I'm going to feed each side through this center bar. Pull it out the back. center them up. That's what I'm saying, I probably shouldn't have done that. Actually, let me pop this center. I'm gonna pop this center. Maybe. I'm gonna pop this center one out. That's on that crossbar. Let's see if I can cut it without cutting the yarn. Yeah, okay. So let's get that one out of there. Okay. So we got that one out. So now I have a big empty space. So let's get this back in here. Get the yarn out of the way. And situated how I want it. So I'm going to do his nose like that. Actually, what we could have done, we should have waited in that section. So if you're making one of these, wait in that top section, get the nose in, and then fill in where you want some more yarn for his beard. And all I'm going to do is just tie this in a knot right in the back. And I'm just going to cut off the excess. You can always touch that up with glue so it doesn't come undone. Let me take a look at him. So what we could do to make his nose sit up, I could stick this one back in here, but I'm going to stick it underneath his nose. Right. Looks like my loop came out on the end. I'm trying to get my zip tie that came off. I'm going to stick it right under his nose. That way it'll bulk it up, and I lost my, there's my zip tie. Pull my zip tie to the back. So cut it. Some crappy cutters here. I don't want to cut. So get the fuzzies off. There is our cute little snowman gnome. Snowman Santa gnome. Like I said, put something up here on his hat. You could put a tassel up here. You could put decoration. But if that's what we do, that will be our gnome. Really simple, really easy. So you need 2 rolls of the 3.5 ounce loopy yarn. You need a big roll of the yarn bee. Like I said, I got the red at Hobby Lobby. So you should be able to wrap 2 hats with that. 2 rolls of this. An attachment or something, a decoration. Your knee-high pantyhose. Some stuffing. And there you have a cute little gnome. Thanks for watching. I'm on all platforms as Craft Creations by Kathy. Thank you.